Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on the double Ruffles bracelet. So we have our single right here, and here's the double. Here's a double in the bronze. Here's a ring, a little band ring. I think it looks really pretty together. I just want you to get a look at, see what it looks like when you make the set here. I got a lot of questions about the bugle bead size. Can I use a 6mm? Can I use a 5mm? Can I use larger? Well, I wasn't sure, but I found some 6mm bugle beads, and these are twisted, sort of brown, like bronzy ones, and they looked like sticks to me. So I put what I thought looked like little flowers on the edges, and these are 6mm, and it looks great. So yeah, go ahead, use your 6mm, have fun, make it colorful, you know. So I'm going to clear this off. We're going to get a materials list going, and we're going to get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified when I upload a video. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So you're going to need some 11/0 seed beads. You'll need some bugle beads. I'm using the 3mm bugle beads. Some 15/0 seed beads. Of course, we're going to recreate this guy. I just love this beautiful, like such a pretty gold. Just loving it lately. You need some 3mm bicones, and this is that cool AB2X. This is JetAB2X. Look at that. Oh, can you see how that shine? Wow, gorgeous. And then I'm using cut buttons at the end. I only have one more gold one, so I've already used it. So you'll need of course, two cut buttons or two crystals, a little stop bead, size 10, and I'd keep a 12 beading needle around. I'm using Wildfire beading thread here. It works best for this bracelet, or a wider diameter fire line, like 0.15 millimeters. I think that's what 0.15 millimeters. So if you can find that in Fireline, you could use that too, but I love Wildfire for this. All right, so I'm going to clear the decks, and we're going to get started. Don't forget to check the description box below the video. Click the down arrow or the show more. It will open. All colors, sizes, amounts, shapes, you name it, everything. Places to purchase beads, links, everything will be in the description box below the video. Anything I forget, anything I remember that I want to tell you, all that, lots of good info down there. So don't forget to take a look down there. All right, and don't forget also, I'm mentioning one more time, I have playlists for all my jewelry. If you're looking for this ring, go to the playlist, go to my ring playlist, it will be in there. If you're looking for a bracelet that I was wearing, go to my bracelet playlist. If you want something interlace, go to the interlace playlist. If you want to go to a bezel, go to the bezel playlist. So there are all kinds of playlists on my channel so that you don't have to search through 237 whatever videos. I wouldn't search through that either. All right, so I'm going to clear this off and we'll get started. So thread your needle with about 5 or 6 feet of thread, put on a stop bead, and leave enough of a tail to sew in or enough of a tail to sew on your clasp, whichever way you want to do it. So I'm going to pick up 4 of my 11/0 seed beads. I'm going to drop those down to my stop bead, and I'm going to sew those into a unit by sewing up the first 2 beads after my stop bead, like that. So now I have right angle weave unit. I'm going to pick up 3 11/0s. I'm going to sew through the other side of the bead I'm exiting to add another unit on. And then I'm going to hold the units like this, so one is on top of the other. Then I'm going to pick up an 11/0, a bugle bead, and 5 11/0s. Like that. I'm going to drop those down. And I'm going to sew through the second 11/0 after the bugle. So I have an 11/0, a bugle, and then 5 11/0s. I'm going to skip this one and sew through this one. So we're doing our setup row right now. I'm going to pull. I'm going to make sure that there's not any space, or as little space as possible, in between the 11/0s and the bugles and the 2 units on the end. So just want to give it a pull. See, like that? I'm going to pick up 3 11/0s. I'm going to sew through the other side of the seed bead I'm exiting from. So this one right here, put on another unit. Come on, you. There we go. That's what I have. I have to back off just a touch. Okay. Then I'm going to pick up a 15-0, a 3mm bicone, and a 15-0, and then 4 11-0 seed beads. This is what I have on my needle. 15-0 bicone, 15-0, and then 4 11-0s. I'm going to drop those down. And I'm going to sew through the first 11-0 after that 15-0. So I have a 15-0, bicone 15-0, and then through this 11-0. I'm going to make sure that pops into a unit and just use my thumbnail to pull everything over so there's no thread showing. Okay, that's what I have. I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s. I'm going to sew through the other side of the seed bead I'm exiting from. Move my thumb in a second. Like that. Going to pull those tight. That's what I have so far. I'm going to pick up an 11-0. A bugle bead, and 5 11-0s. 11-0, bugle bead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to drop those down. I'm going to sew through the second 11-0 after the bugle bead. So again, this is just our setup row. Make that into a unit. Make sure it pops into a right angle weave unit. I'm popping my units up like that. Pick up 3 11-0s. We're going to sew through the other side of the unit, the seed bead we're exiting. So this one. Pulling that tight. This is what I have. Looks a little weird right now. I'm going to sew through the side seed bead of the unit I'm exiting from and the bottom seed bead. And this is my setup row. So I'm going to let you go off and do that. Rewind if you need to, and then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, here's where we are. I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s. I'm going to sew through the other side of the seed bead I'm exiting from. This is Interlace. I'm going to pick up an 11-0, a bugle bead, and 11-0. I'm going to sew through the bottom unit, the bottom seed bead of the next unit. So right here. Pick up 3 11-0s. Sew through the other side of the seed bead you're exiting from. Holding my thumb on it, and I'm making sure that everything is nice and snug. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s, and I'm going to sew through the bottom seed bead of the next unit. So right here. So I'm going to be alternating between a bicone and 3 11-0s. Bicone, 3 11-0s as we go down. Pick up 3 11-0s. Sew through the other side of the seed bead you're exiting. Pick up an 11-0, a bicone, and an 11-0. Sew through the bottom seed bead of the next unit. Pick up 3 11-0s. So through the other side of the seed bead you're exiting. Like that. 2 rows on. So through the side seed bead and the bottom seed bead of the unit your thread is exiting from, and now you have 2 rounds on. Okay, we'll do it one more time, but I'll let you get to this point and then come on back and we'll go through it again. Okay, we're back, so let's do another row. So here I'm exiting this seed bead right here. Just going to pick up 3 11-ohs. So through the other side of the seed bead I'm exiting from, I'm going to pick up a seed bead, 11-oh, bugle, 11-oh, sew through the bottom seed bead of the next unit. Pick up 3 11-ohs, sew through the other side of the seed bead you're exiting from. Make sure you're keeping it nice and snug. Now I need a 15-oh, a bicone, and a 15-oh. I'm going to sew through the bottom seed bead of the next unit. I'm going to pick up an 11-oh, a bugle bead, and an 11-oh. Whoops. Let's change that. We're going to pick up 3 11-ohs. See, I almost forgot to put my little unit here, and actually in a way I'm glad I did that because it's very easy to miss a unit. So if I miss putting this unit here, then I'll have nothing to connect to on the next round. So make sure you get all your units on. So 3 11-ohs. So through the other side of the seed bead you're exiting, so you can have 4 of these units at the end. Now I'm going to pick up an 11-oh, a bugle bead, and an 11-oh. Sew through the bottom seed bead of the next unit. Pick up 3 11-ohs. Sew through the other side of the seed bead you're exiting. A little pull. Sew through the side seed bead and the bottom seed bead of that unit. Like that. Okay, so now I'm ready to put another row on. So you see I have my 4 units, so had I forgotten that unit, it would have looked like this and I would have had nothing to connect these beads to. So, keep that in mind to make sure you don't miss any of those beads. All right, there you go, that's it. So you're going to continue all the way down to the length of your bracelet, minus your clasp. And you're going to alternate. So here in the middle we did a bicone, then we did 3 11-ohs, bicone, 3 11-ohs, bicone, 3 11-ohs. So you're just going to alternate every other row. And then when you're done, come on back and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So we're going to get the one end of the clasp on. So I've already done 1 loop, but we're going to do the cut button end, and we are using a cut button. So a viewer used a cut button and posted it on Facebook, and I loved it. So we're going to do the cut button, being that we've already done the crystal closure. Let's do this. So I'm adding a thread. If you have enough thread left over and you want to use it for your clasp, just make sure you're coming out of this top seed bead of this little unit here. So I've just added the thread. I'm going to pick up 2 11-ohs. My cut button. I'm going to go through one of the holes. Let me pull in a little bit more. Going to pick up an 11-oh, a 3mm bicone, and an 11-oh. Just going to decorate the top of the cut button by going through the second hole of the cut button, like that. And then I'm going to pick up 2 more 11-ohs, and I'm going to sew through the top seed bead of the next unit. And when I pull, that's what happens. Just going to make sure my stop bead is up there. It's loose right now, of course. Now, I'm going to reinforce this by going through the next seed bead here. So we're exiting this top seed bead of this unit right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go through this one. And then we're going to go through this one, this 11-oh, right? So here, this is the top unit, the top seed bead, side bead, seed bead, and here's the bottom, and then straight through and out. So straight through the 11 O's, the bugle bead, and the 2 11 O's on the end. Like that. And then we're going back up all the clasp beads. So through all these 11 O's, through the cup button, the beads on top of the cup button, down through the other hole of the cup button, and the 2 beads and the third one there. That's the top seed bead of that right angle weave unit. And when I pull, of course, but you have to sew this thread in, this is what it looks like. Okay. So now what you can do here is you can reinforce again. So I'm not going to, but we're going to go in this direction anyway. So I'm going to sew down this side seed bead of that unit, like we did before, and all the way across and out the side like we did before to reinforce. And if you feel it needs it, go through again and then come out this way again. And now from this point, I want you to sew down through this seed bead. I want you to go all the way across this line of beads. So the entire bracelet until you come out the other side. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to turn my piece a little bit. I'm going to sew through this seed bead here. I'm going to go across these beads, so starting with these 2 11 O's and the bugle, and the 2 11 O's after the bugle. So this is where I want you to come out. So you just turn your thread around so you can get to your other cup button area. Okay, there. So you're going to be coming out of that bead, up the side seed bead of the unit you're just coming out of, and the top seed bead. Okay, I'm just going to let you get to this point, so if you have to rewind, do that. But that's just, we just maneuvered around so we come out of the top here. All right, so get that done and then come on back and we'll put the other cup button on. Okay, let's get the other button on. So I've gone ahead a little bit. So, you were exiting this unit right here. So I put on 2 of my 11 0 seed beads. I went through one end of the cup button. Then I put on 1 11 0, a 3mm bicone, and 1 11 0 to decorate the cup button. So just like we did before. Picking up 2 11 0s and sewing through the top seed bead of the next unit. I'm going to do just what I did before. I'm going to reinforce, so sew down, sew through the next seed bead of that unit. I'm going right across all the beads right here, the 2 11 0s, the bugle, and 2 11 0s. And then up this 11 0. This is the unit right here, the little right angle weave unit. So we're going through this one, and then through all the beads again, the cup button beads, oops, get through those, that 3mm bicone and that 11 0, and then down the hole and down the whole line of seed beads after the cup button. So you'll be going down 4 seed beads at that point. And when I pull, I have both of my clasps on. Now, if you have some thread left, you can leave it on your needle right now, because we're going to be doing a little reinforcing on this bracelet. First, we're going to do the clasps, but I'll just for those of you just to give you an idea of what you're going to do. So you're either going to add a thread, excuse me, or use this thread. So we're exiting this side of the, of our right angle weave unit right here. I'm just going to sew through all the beads again. So I'm going directly across. So all the 11 O's, let me just get this in my hand. Okay, all the 11 O's, better yet, let me hold it this way. Okay. All right, so here I'm coming out of here after sewing the clasp on, and I'm going to continue with this thread, or I've added a new thread at this point. I'm going to sew through this whole line of beads, and if you can't get them all at once, that's fine. Just do them one at a time. Just make sure you're staying straight in a line, and you're going to exit through the two 11 O's on the side of the bugle bead on the other side of the bracelet. And we're going to do that all the way down. We're going to reinforce. So whether you have enough thread left over after you put your clasp on, or you add another thread, you probably have to add thread. You're going to sew through the entire bracelet. So here I'm exiting this 11 O, sewing through this bead, and then I'm going to go straight across again through all the beads until you come out the other side. See that right there? And this, you're going to do this all the way down to the end. I suggest you put the other side of the, you can do this for a while, but stop around here. I suggest you put the other side of the clasp on first, because you just want to make sure that you don't have any knots, going on. So I just like getting this side of the clasp done first. And also actually when you do this side of the clasp, you're going to be going through these beads a bit, so I don't want it to get too tight here if you finish this, doing the reinforcing first. So I would do the reinforcing last. I hope that made sense. That was kind of silly or kind of crazy. All right, so get that done. Get your other cut button on. If you want to do a little reinforcing, maybe down to here, you can do that, and then come on back and we'll put the other loop on. All right, okay, let's get the other side of the other loop on, or your first loop. So again, I've done the same thing. I've just added a thread. I've come out the top seed bead of this unit. I've put on 18 11 O's. I'm going to sew through the other side, the top seed bead of the next unit. Like that. And I'm going to sew down through this side seed bead. The bottom seed bead of that unit and across, just like we did with the other ones. We're going across the two 11 O's, the bugle, and the two 11 O's. Like that. Up through all the beads again to reinforce. And the other side. You can do that a couple of times, and then of course directly across again. You know where we're going. And if you want, you can make another, do another pass if you like, but I don't know that it's all that necessary. And then at this point you want to finish up your reinforcing everything. So if you've come down to this point, just go as far as you can to where your thread fits, and then you're just going to tie your threads in, burn them off, cut them off. I won't do this yet because I need to tie them in, but I just wanted to see if I can get the bracelet on for you, even with its little, with the threads. So here, I'm going to put it on. 1, 2. And ignore the ignore the threads, but I really like the way that came out. It's really pretty. It's got you know, there's not a lot of space, and once I tighten it up, it'll be, you know, a lot better. So it's got a lot of space. It's got no space, you know, very little space in, you know, where the clasp is. I like that. It's nice and close. There it is. Here, we'll take a look at the silver one. Here are some of the singles. Here's the 6mm, using 6mm. This has been a blast. So much fun. Got a lot of bracelets going here. Here, that's everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have fun making this. I know you guys had a lot of fun making the singles because so many of you watched the video, and I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate that. I just thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you make the bracelet, post it on Facebook, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.